Hello friends. In this video, I'm going to talk to you about the diagnosis making of urinary tract infection in males by collection of a urinary sample and the test called urine culture and sensitivity. As you must be knowing, infection of urinary tract is a very common infection in males. It usually influences children, but it can also infect the adults and elderly males. In urinary infection, the bacteria which are present in the external environment gain entry through the external urinary meatus, the hole from where you pass urine. Then these bacteria gradually swim upwards inside the urinary passage. Sometimes they rest for a while in urethral passage and multiply in number, and sometimes they ascend up and go inside the urinary bladder, where they can multiply in larger number, and then they get attached to the lining of the urinary bladder, the mucosa of urinary bladder, and create bad infection. When this infection occurs to any male, he starts experiencing uh, burning sensation while passing urine or pain sensation while passing urine. He starts passing urine rather too frequently and feels some pain in lower abdomen. Some patients even start having fever or their urine can become blood stained. So friends, this is a fairly common problem in day-to-day clinical practice for us. And when we have to diagnose the urinary infection in you, we will ask you to submit your urine sample for a test called culture and sensitivity. Why do we want this test? We want this test firstly to know which type of bacteria has infected your urinary tract. In most people, the responsible bacteria is Escherichia coli, commonly known as E. coli. Over 90% of patients get infected by E. coli, right? But you can have infection because of other bacteria also. The other bacteria is Proteus. This is a bigger bacteria and causes chronic urinary infection. In some patients, it can be due to Pseudomonas bacteria, which causes very serious type of urinary infection. In other patients, this can be due to Klebsiella bacteria, which is also another rod-like bacteria and can cause urinary tract infection. So, first we want to know which type of bacteria has infected your urinary tract, because each bacteria responds to a different class of antibiotics. So it's very relevant question for us as a doctor to know which bacteria has infected you. Next, what we want to know is what is the number of bacteria which is present inside you, the quantum of infection, the bacterial load in your body. So bacteria can be 10, 30, 40, or can be in thousands, or can be in million number inside your urinary bladder. When you give your urinary sample, we inoculate it on a petri dish and let the bacteria grow, and then we calculate the colony count. So we know the quantum of infection. And the third part of culture report is the drug which will be beneficial to kill your bacteria. So I hope you've understood that a urine culture sensitivity test is of paramount importance for us as a clinician and for you as a patient. Now I'm going to tell you certain precautions that you must take while submitting your urine sample. First of all, let me tell you, why do you need to take these precautions? In most men, the penis is covered by foreskin. If the patient is circumcised, it's a different matter. But in uncircumcised men, the prepuce covers the glans penis, and underneath the prepuce, a large number of bacteria can stay naturally. And when you give your urine sample and you don't pull back the prepuce and you don't clean the area underneath the prepuce, all these bacteria will go in your urinary sample. and will spoil the urine sample. In medical language, we call this contamination of urine sample. So your time and energy to give urine sample and the money that you spend for testing will go waste. Therefore, it is very necessary that when you give urine sample for culture and sensitivity testing, you must take certain precautions. And I will now tell you what are these precautions and how can you minimize this source of error called contamination of urine sample. First of all, you must wash your hands, both hands, very thoroughly and meticulously by soap and water, and then dry them up. Next, you have to collect a sterile bottle for collection of urine sample, and this bottle you can collect from the pathology lab. Then you go in any toilet to collect urine sample. In order to clean the area underneath the foreskin, you can use sterile wipes which are available in the market, and at one time you have to use 3 wipes one by one. So pick 3 wipes. When you stand in front of the toilet seat, pull back the foreskin and then underneath it, first take 1 wipe and by circulatory motion clean the entire tip of penis, discard the wipe. Take in second wipe, then clean it again, discard this wipe, and then take the third wipe to clean it all over again. So at one time use 3 wipes one by one to meticulously clean the area underneath the penile foreskin. In case you do not have access to the wipes, you can use any medicated liquid soap to clean the tip of the penis thoroughly. Rub it nicely, let it stay there for a while so that it can act upon the bacteria, and then wash thoroughly with water. After doing so, do not forget to mop it dry. Please remember, before giving urine sample, the tip of the penis should not be too wet. It should not be dripping any drops of water, because then these drops of water can go in your urine sample. Now is the time to start urinating. As you start passing urine, let 15-20 ml of the initial part of stream go in the toilet seat. Let it go waste. And when you have passed initial 10, 15, 20 ml, then you bring the open container in front of the stream and then you collect the sample. Now this is what we call collection of sample from middle of your urinary stream, also known as midstream urine sample. So remember, don't collect initial urine, don't collect terminal urine, collect the sample from the mid part of the urinary stream. When you are voiding in that container bottle, you should take precaution that you don't spill the urine here and there outside the bottle, and don't make it wet. After you have collected the required amount of sample, which is about 10-15 ml minimum, then you should tightly screw the bottle so that it does not leak. After collecting the sample, you should transport the sample to the pathology lab as soon as possible. Don't keep it in your house or don't keep it in your toilet for a long period of time. In case you live far away from the pathology lab, it is better that you go in the lab and you give the urine sample in the toilet of the lab itself. This will minimize your transportation time. I must also tell you that the report of your urine culture will be available only after 48 to 72 hours. This much time is required for the bacteria to multiply in pathology lab and then the drug to show response on these bacteria. So please have patience. Don't push your pathologist to give you the report at a very short notice. Once you get the report in your hands, don't try to interpret the report yourself. I have often seen patients reading it themselves and saying this drug is 3+, this drug is 4+, and then they start taking treatment by themselves. this is not right. Don't try to do this job yourself. This is the job of your physician, who understands about your disease very nicely, and let him therefore select the proper drug for you. So thank you very much. I hope you've understood what precautions you must take when you have to give your urine sample for culture and sensitivity testing. Thank you very much.